When I started making this ship design series, I set a couple of rules for myself, core pillars. First, I will not cut any corners, I will do a proper review, I will spend time with the ship, and I will make it worth the viewer's time. Secondly, that I will be honest with my opinions and my thoughts. I won't try to play to the gallery, and I will be respectful with my thoughts. Why I'm saying this is because I have a few thoughts about the Ironclad which probably won't align with a lot of people's thinking, or maybe they will align with a lot of people. We shall see. Now, as always, I'm also sharing an Ironclad artwork with you all with this video, but we will talk about that after the video. And after the video, we will also talk about the very cool t-shirt giveaway. This video is long because it's a big ship and there's a lot to cover, but this video does not waste your time. There's no fluff, so please stick around. This video essay also follows a chapter structure so that you can understand and follow easily. Okay, let's go. Ironclad is a rectangle, and that's all you need to know about its base design. It's a very utilitarian rectangle from every angle that you look at it. I like straight lines, I like rectangles, so this is my kind of design. Drake itself is an industrial themed manufacturer. Bare minimum is their ethos. That's what I think. If a duct tape can fix it, then yeah, let's just use a duct tape. Theme-wise, the design brief of the Ironclad is, I think, an enclosed cargo ship with the oil rig aesthetics in space. A general cargo ship, not a container ship, which is one of the 7 types of cargo ships. Like this ship that I did a shoot of last month, which is a weird coincidence. I work as a creative producer in real life, and I have worked on cargo ships as part of 2 creative projects, and Ironclad was like going back to those projects. Ironclad sits parallel to the ground, but it does feel like it has a slight rear rake. That feeling is induced by the slight arc of the rear engine covers. If you combine that to the lift in the chin out front, that adds to the believability that this ship is slightly raked to the rear. It also makes you feel that it's heavy in the rear. Looking at the Ironclad from profile, first thing that catches your eye is the massive engine structure. The engine coilings, those big thrusters are extremely masculine in their appearance, and they literally make almost 1/3 of the ship. You know what that means? That means this much of the ship is inaccessible. Yeah, Ironclad looks big, but all of it is not usable space. One thing that isn't that obvious is that for being such a huge and massive ship, it is actually quite a sleek ship. Yes, Drake and being sleek, but hear me out. There's some very clever design elements used on the Ironclad to fashion that sleekness. Pay attention to these angular lines. Do you see how many times they repeat on the profile? And they're all less than 16 degrees in angle. They're all chamfered too. They all create an aerodynamic flow for your eyes, even while the aerodynamics don't exist. There's no conflict for the rest of the straight lines. Compare that to an RSI ship's profile and you will know what I mean. These create a visual flow for your eyes and you perceive that as sleekness. 07 to that very creative use of low angles to create a sleek design. On the port side, we have the command module, which is the separation from the design on the starboard side, and the docking collar replaced by an orange panel for some reason, which really stands out. The front of the ship is beautiful. It has a lot of personality. The way the bottom part of the front sits an angle to the front face is quite pleasing. Instead of being a plain front, this adds a purpose to the design as it becomes the opening ramp. The whole ramp section feels extremely solid. The lines are very powerful, thick and dominating in the front section. I wish when you called your Ironclad to your hangar, its front was facing you. That should be an option, right? How we want our ships to spawn. But that's a personal thing. Maybe people enjoy the view of the big thrusters more. And talking about the big thrusters, the rear of the Ironclad is in your face. It's there to make you warm and fuzzy, while also making you feel that you're flying something extremely powerful. What can I possibly say about those thrusters? The top of the Ironclad, personally, for me, is the most beautiful side of the Ironclad. Everything that Drake is known for, the industry, the utility, the purposefulness, it all comes together on the top of the Ironclad. There are so many beautiful lines that converge, diverge into the design. All the sections, the hatches, the squares, the rectangles, pipes, gantries, coiling units, nuts, bolts, everything, they all seem purposeful. They are all there for a reason, even if they don't really work in the game. It makes you believe that this ship really does exist in real life. That's the believability factor. A lot of the game companies can take a cue from this kind of designing by Star Citizen designers. If you want to see and understand how far Star Citizen ship designing has come, go ahead and have a look at the Caterpillar and look at its profile, its top and its front and its rear, and you will see the kind of detailed nuances that CIG devs now go to make these ships real. I mean, compared to the Ironclad, Caterpillar feels minimal. I mean, a minimalist Drake ship. What is this lens guy talking about? The landing gear is just impressive. However, I find it extremely weird that the front part of the ship has 3 landing struts and the rear has 2. Shouldn't it be the other way around? Because the ship is actually inherently more heavier in the aft section, even when it's unladen. I just did a quick switcheroo in a drawing to see how that looks. I mean, it's literally nitpicking. It's a game, it's all made up, it doesn't matter, but it's just something that stood out to me design-wise. The VTOL section up front is the only separate entity of the design that stands out on its own, and I like this transformation. However, the VTOL thrusters are just there in the front. If we engage VTOL, the ship would realistically just do a pitch-up maneuver and keep going in circles. Shouldn't there be another VTOL thruster unit in the aft section of the ship? I mean, they are there in all other ships. It's made very immersive. Ironclad seems to be the only exception. Okay, maybe there are others. Please point them to me in the comments. Part of these videos is me getting educated as well. With every video, my knowledge is being enhanced, thanks to some very good viewers. Okay, how many thrusters are enough thrusters? The answer is yes. The size of the main thrusters is just in your face. When I walk behind the Ironclad to get to the ladder to enter the Ironclad, I can feel the heat on my face from these thrusters. Design-wise, this is an extremely simple design idea. Just 2 rows of 3 large and 2 medium-sized thrusters, or small size, I can't tell, the scale is very big with Ironclad, which are actually quite large, to be honest. The designs of the thrusters is unique. This is not kit bashing. They feel like slight variants of the Buccaneer and the Cutter engines. They look the part of an industry ship. Their purpose is to look impressive and make Drake Ironclad feel that the ship has enough grunt to go wherever it wants to go, and they do that pretty damn well. I might be wrong, but I think this is the first time I'm seeing this maneuvering thruster design. The square wave design aesthetic works really well with the Ironclad's design. The chrome finish sits in a nice contrast to the black metal body, but it's not too big to create a conflict of design. In fact, it stands out quite nicely and breaks the monotony of the black and red panels with just enough touch of steel. These massive front radiator grills. They are not radiator grills, they are retro thrusters. They are beautiful. I'm getting the Clipper flashbacks here. They're even more aggressive on the Ironclad because they do curve from frontal to the bottom of the ship, and it feels like they have these notches on them. Every time I see them, I want to move my fingers on them or grate potatoes on them. They are very inviting. Am I the only one who feels like that? Also on the Ironclad base variant, the front section is not high enough for you to park every ground vehicle. Is that an oversight, or is that an intentional blocker for players? Very interesting detail on the top of the roof of the Ironclad are these fall protection nets, which you usually find on oil rig helipads. quite distinctly, I remember them being a prominent design feature of the Burj Al Arab. Remember when Federer and Agassi played tennis there? Yeah, I'm that old. Oh, you can easily have a tennis court on the roof of the Ironclad. A football pitch would be too much. I don't think the size is right, but a tennis court we should be able to fit a tennis court. I don't know, what are the dimensions? Along with these fall protection nets, there are railings everywhere on the Ironclad. They look impressive, but they're not really there to protect you. There are areas which are just left unattended, just next to the railing, and you can just fall off. So why do that? Did they run out of iron on the Ironclad? That's a very bad pun. Well, I wish there were more railings, and if they were going for the believability of creating protection for the people walking, well, put them in the right places. There are ladders to enter the Ironclad on either side of the ship, which is awesome, but you can just jump off from the sides. There's no invisible wall there, so the safety on a Drake ship is really just make-believe.
Oh!
What?
Wow, I don't know what happened there.
I'm dead again.
These extremely long gantries that run on both sides of the Ironclad, and their literal purpose, other than your character can walk on them if you so desire, is to just run the cables, which are at the bottom of these gantries. That is super cool. I don't know what those cables are carrying, what is in them, but it just makes the Ironclad more believable. Another really cool thing about the Ironclad is like the whole roof surface area of the Ironclad is traversable. You can walk everywhere from top of the command module to the top of the operations room, the front turrets. You can walk on all the surfaces. I really loved it when the Corsair introduced that roof access, and it's taken to next level on the Ironclad. Okay, I want to drop a word about the tractor turret in the front of the Ironclad. This is the most industrial part of the ship. If you're standing on the ground and somebody's operating that tractor turret, that really makes you feel like you are immersed in the cargo gameplay of this game. The believability of the design is important to sell the believability of its purpose. Ironclad lives up to that reputation. Everything is heavy, industrial, big, and chunky. I actually named my Ironclad Chunky. I mean my rented Ironclad. And that's also a shout out to my friend Chunky. Hey Chunky. I plan to shout out all my friends in these videos one by one. The best design detail, the operations room. This whole room, its design is my favorite part of the Ironclad. It almost feels like a bunker, heavily armed bunker, especially with the bars on the windows. Ironclad on the paper is meant to be an armored cargo ship, and the ops room really works well with that aesthetic of the ship. I really like that tiny slit-like design on the windows. They give you this sense of security that you're protected. The corners of the bridge section are slightly chamfered, which is like an armored vehicle. The roof is equally impressive with the louvers, massive louvers. Do they have any purpose? No. Do they look cool? Yes. It even has those mining truck lights, which look sublime, and these two struts that go on the roof of the ops room, they don't really serve any purpose other than bringing a sleek design and giving it more of the same vibe of having a very solid structure underneath the surface. They are the bones of the ship. In fact, that's another most impressive feature of the Ironclad, which is hiding in plain sight. There are a lot of different design elements like this all across the Ironclad, like these struts running in the front. It makes you feel as if the steel frame was constructed first and the panels were added to it later. I mean, that's how they would do it if they were actually manufacturing it. When you see Ironclad from any angle, you imagine this frame, but it's hidden under the surface of the ship. Without even seeing it, we're imagining this structure, the bulkhead, and we're imagining this unconsciously. That is the power of the suggestive design, and it's all thanks to many of these steel frames cleverly added to the design of the ship. These are the unreal bones of Ironclad. This believability is at a maximum at the bottom of the Ironclad, just like you would expect. The bottom is smooth, not that many irregular surfaces here. It has a lot more of those red panels, and the split of color is really well done. The bottom of the Ironclad is colorful and visceral at the same time. My favorite design detail. I didn't talk about the landing gear in the second chapter because I knew I was going to talk about it here. The landing gear housing unit, the whole landing gear, the animation, they are my favorite parts of the Ironclad. Most importantly, it feels heavy. It looks the part. It has this tough appearance that it is the rightful landing gear to support this affliction of this massive ship. To think of it, a lot of the perception of Ironclad being an extremely heavy ship comes from the landing gear and the way it is designed. Look at those cylinders. Can you feel the hydraulic fluid passing through them? Can you almost imagine the sheer power that is siphoning through those massive iron blocks? There's so much detail in the landing gear bay that just this one part of the design makes Ironclad becomes real in our heads. And then there is the landing gear opening and closing animation. Oh, just every single overhang and the strut of the landing gear has its own weight, and it opens and closes with a delay. I love these small details. When you deploy your landing gear, it feels like a latch disengages and the struts fall off one by one, assisted by gravity. The believability of gravity assist landing gear deployment it's just everything in Ironclad's landing gear design. And I'm completely going to ignore that the same happens in the vacuum of space. Okay, just let me have this. Just imagine that the Ironclad creates its own gravity for the landing gear deployment. If you watched the video up to this point, I'm gonna take it that you actually enjoyed it. I would like you to join me in future for my future videos, or even go back and watch the previous work that I've done. And in doing that, I think if you subscribe, that will be very helpful. That's a very weird way of me asking you to subscribe, but I will appreciate it if you subscribe to me, dear viewer. Now, I didn't talk about the command module earlier because I knew I was going to talk about it here. Personally, don't like the design of the command module. From my personal thoughts, the command module is extremely different from the rest of the Ironclad and even the Drake aesthetics. Drake doesn't do cylinders, it doesn't do curves, and command module is just its most defining feature are these two shells that run on its profile on both sides, and the way they are brought together, they look absurd. It's like a cutter upside down. These two cylinders that sit on the each side of the profile, they're weird. To me, they feel out of place. I wish they were just rectangles, honestly. I wish the command module itself was just a rectangle. If you look at the command module and look at the Ironclad and the Caterpillar and Ironclad have more in common than the command module, and the command module is supposed to be the common unit in those two ships. The way the docking port opens and the way this shelf shifts to the bottom, it also feels really awkward and feels like an afterthought. Compare this opening animation of this shelf to the glorious landing gear animation. I hope you understand what I'm talking about. Okay, so that's the command module. So even while being a cargo ship and adopting certain principles, it has failed to adapt one of the most important aspects of a cargo ship. Cargo ships, they're meant to be functional, ease of access for cargo, be efficient with space and protection from nature's elements for certain loads inside the cargo holds. The retractable roof is where that comes in. Really cool and definitely sells the concept of Ironclad. However, the whole front section where you have the storage pens is a huge hindrance to that. It doesn't really make sense if you want a front ramp and you literally rely on two different tractor beams to move stuff in. And the ramp is also narrow. Why? Instead of having such a large front overhang, Ironclad could have done so much better without that whole section. Is any player going to use those storage pens or those drop seats on the Assault? And those doors in front of for the storage pen area, they restrict you from bringing the boxes in anyway. What are those storage pens for? What if the gantries on the left and the right side just reach to the front and you had clear accessibility to the cargo area? The roof, it needs to be stretched further. It feels like it's done on purpose to create a nuisance for players, just like those tight doors on the C1 and the Zeus, so that we always go for the next big cargo ship, I suppose. Maybe I'm wrong about this, and this was an oversight, or maybe that's how they intended the design to be. I personally find the front section to be a huge disadvantage on Ironclad. From what we understand, this is not the intended interior lighting, because right now it's very, very dark inside the Ironclad. I had to record the footage at a higher exposure and fix it in the color correction in the post to make this video more visible. But yeah, the cargo bay is the most important feature of the ship. The ship interior as a whole is again utilitarian and industrial, with no effort given to make it look sleek. This is Drake. And Drake likes to showcase the pipes, the wires, the leaky bathrooms, the railings, the iron and the steel frame, and the rawness of the ship. If there is a protective material which is visible, yeah, just leave it. There's no need to put a panel on it. Let's save some nuts and bolts, right? But that's the appeal of the Drake ship, which is beautiful. Also, the interior of the Ironclad is asymmetric. There is no cohesive layout inside the Ironclad. One side is deeper, one is shorter. There's a triangular section with the area above the ground floor, which on the first floor, which overlooks the cargo bay. And there are these beautiful gantries that run across both sides of the cargo section, and they go to the front to the storage pen area, which we talked about previously. Assault has drop seats here, which is weird, because how are you supposed to board an enemy ship? You get out of the drop seats, you go through these choke points of these doors, then go to the side elevator, go down and jump around and move next to the ramp, and then attack. I don't know, it just doesn't feel very logical. It's a game, it doesn't have to be logical, but this whole section, as I said previously, is a huge hindrance. For some reason, it's really weird why the Assault has this huge cylinder here. What does it do? I don't know. Also, Assault has a crafting station, which doesn't work, which is replaced by a solid wall in the Ironclad. And what are these empty chambers? Are they for storage? I have many questions about these sections, and I don't know what they are. Also, this is the first time I've heard the use of a ventral turret on any ship. I don't think there's any other ship which uses this terminology. The floor design of the Ironclad is extremely confusing. I had to draw my own maps to understand the layout. I won't lie about it. I was unable to understand the layout until I drew the maps. If you did it just by walking around and you just knew right away where to go, you have better navigation skills than I do. The stairs were very confusing. The first floor houses the engineering section and the docking area and the docking port. And that's it. On the next floor, you have crew quarters, which are extremely cramped, but that's okay because it's a Drake ship. And there's a very brutalist couch for you to enjoy the data on the screen. This is funny. You sit on a couch and the couch is facing those data screen. Like it's weird. And in the mess hall, there's a very dark pantry section, 2 toilets for 6 crewmen. That's not going to be a very happy place. Maybe communal showers would have been better choice on a ship of this size. The ops room is the most impressive room. The way the turrets slide and get into position for a higher vantage point is very satisfying. I love when chairs slide on rails. I just love them. When they move the flying to the ops room, I reckon this middle huge strut, it will have to go. The steel girder, this will have to be removed. Engineering section leaves a lot to be desired. Personally, for me, with such massive thrusters, I was expecting the engine core area to be more impressive. When I walked in here, I just thought this is it. I don't know. It just lacks the oomph factor in the engineering department. I mean, Polaris has a whole swimming pool, and Ironclad got this. So. Most furnished part of the ship is the captain's quarters, or the owner as it's dubbed in the Ironclad. This area is distinctively visual, different from the rest of the ship, and it has a huge iron table, comes with its own cigar, its own chessboard. You have blast covers for windows. I don't know why, they look very cool. Very utilitarian bed, which doesn't look very comfortable. has a huge light for your reading pleasure as you read Art of War by Sun Tzu. The cables of the PC are left unattended, and somehow the toilet feels more tight than any other toilet on the ship. As much as I dislike the command module itself, I have nothing against its interior. The interior of the command module is quite functional. It has its own toilet, even its own coffee machine too, right next to the toilet. Comes with its own desk to monitor data, has a turret station, and drop seats. And I'm a sucker for dual seating of the pilot and co-pilot. I absolutely adore the cockpit of the Cutlass Black, and I really wish that the command module had the same kind of setup where the pilot seat actually traversed vertically to seat the pilots. This is the chapter where I discuss the emotive value of a ship, the reason why people buy ships in the game. When the Ironclad was announced, citizens just swooned towards the Ironclad. They came up with names: Fraterpillar, Ironchad, and it's the bombastic nature and the sheer aggressiveness of the design that, yes, I'm a fat cargo ship and I'm proud of it. That exaggerated format of the Ironclad was the pull for everybody to just fall in love with it. I mean, you can park this ship on Lorville Harbor and it will become part of the scenery. Nothing is subtle, sleek, or curvaceous or exotic about it. It's an industrial unit. And in people's head, that's what they were seeing. Genuinely, if Ironclad worked as intended, it's a very strong candidate for being a home away from home. You can park a Nursa in there, have your medical station, you can put furniture in there, decorate it the way you want. The roof gives you accessibility to park your small ships. You can fit a Nomad in the Ironclad, even though Nomad is also broken right now. So that's the appeal of the Ironclad. But the landing of the Ironclad didn't go to the plan, did it? And it's extremely broken ship. So I am wondering, what is going to be the feeling attached to the Ironclad? The people who bought it, will they forget about how painful it was? Like, you spend money and you want to fly that ship, but it just doesn't work for you. It's like buying a new sports car and finding out it has a check engine light on. Just breaks your heart. And I spent 7 days with the Ironclad trying to make this video, and it was very frustrating. I wanted to shoot the video on different moons, different locations, but I gave up after 1 day because the command module will keep attaching, reattaching. I think I had around 11 deaths. It was very glitchy, very, very painful to make this video. But that frustration, and I wanted to talk about that in the feeling of a design. I don't think personally that the Ironclad, the way it was launched, is fair. It's not fair to the people who bought it, but let's go further. It's not even fair to the designers who designed the Ironclad, because those designers are artists. They've spent how many years designing Ironclad? They've put their effort to make this Fraterpillar for us, this Ironchad for us, the way it was launched and introduced to the public, and the criticism that ship got. How do you think those devs are feeling about their creation? Because after all, at the end of the day, Ironclad is a piece of art. Who are these people who are making these decisions to destroy art? I personally see this as destruction of art, or not a proper presentation of a piece of art. I don't have an Ironclad. I intend to earn it in game when it comes out, but I really hope that such a cool design like Ironclad, such a cool ship, had a better representation. I don't do controversies, but I spent 7 days with this ship and it was a very painful experience. We don't know when this will be fixed. I hope it doesn't get the 600i treatment or the Connie treatment. The CIG has said that they will be moving the flying from the ops room, which good. Yes, it should be like that. Yeah, I just wanted to share my frustrations about the Ironclad. I wish it had a better fate than this. To sum it all, Ironclad is chunky, heavy, awesome, gigantic, masochistic display of power. It's an industrial and a utilitarian ship, and it just ticks all those boxes beautifully. Ironclad is raw, rough, and it is not apologetic about it. I mean, you can even consider the front overhang area and the obstruction to the ramp, to the storage area as one of the features of Drake, because they just do things in a weird way. Overall, it was very satisfying to move around the Ironclad, especially coming from doing an M80 review, which was all about smoothness. Drake designs have come a long way. The Clipper and the Golem, these are really good, beautiful ship designs with a lot of details on their body. It's just that the functionality needs to catch up with the great job the designers are doing. Okay, now for the artwork. I drew the Ironclad and I'm sharing 60 first come first serve high resolution files for you to download on my Ko-fi. You can get them for free or you can pay what you want. Again, all the citizens who have supported me since my previous artwork of the M80, your names are part of the Ironclad artwork. Once again, that's my way of saying thank you. Now for the giveaway. I liked this artwork so much that I thought I will like to put it on t-shirt for myself. I always put pretty much all my artworks on t-shirts, but this time I want to do a giveaway of 3 Ironclad artwork t-shirts. But here's a catch. I will pay for the t-shirt, but you will have to pay for the shipping. The shipping cost will probably run $35 to $45 to $55. With the current situation of the world, I have no clue. To participate in this giveaway, leave a comment below this video. Tell me what part of this video you did not like. Number 1. Number 2, you need to say, I am interested in this giveaway. I will pick 3 winners and I will get in touch with you. I've done this kind of giveaway in the past, so it's not a phony. Actually do deliver these t-shirts. These t-shirts are very high quality. You won't be able to destroy them in your lifetime. Don't quote me on that though. I mean, you can never trust the Drake pilots. They can do anything. That's an awesome joke. Okay, that's it. Tell me, is there any other ship which is missing an aft VTOL? Do you have an Ironclad or have you already melted it? Do you think it will get fixed? How soon do you think? And how long did you fly the Ironclad before you gave up? Yeah, let's talk about that. 07. Hashtag, who's LensNation anyway?